Welcome to our conversations with Mr. Selçuk at Tuzla Toksa. This week, I want to ask questions that are a bit related to your industry, to begin with. After that, I will have a second question that concerns everyone. You are in the automotive industry. Kayala Motors has been operating in Texas for many years, with 2 locations. It's continuing very successfully. First of all, congratulations. However, in the automotive industry, I'm sure there have been very different stories, especially since the pandemic. Very different stories have been experienced. We occasionally hear about these from you as well. I wanted our audience to hear some of these stories as well. Of course, there are stories we haven't heard, right? Can you tell us something we don't know? What happened? What went on?
It went like this. We had just arrived in America, actually. We established our company at the end of 2017. In America, we focus on used cars. The same Kayalar Automotive. We established our company in 1992, and we stayed in Turkey for many years. After that, we continued for 8 years in Iraq. And then we founded Kayalar Automotive in America at the end of 2017, in October. I arrived around the middle of 2018. Our eldest son, Fatih, is currently our general manager. He set up the company and got it started while I wasn't there. I arrived in May 2018. Until the pandemic, it was about a process of nearly 2 years. We were involved in building most of our own construction. We were also conducting market research and making our sales on the side. The pandemic also, our generation, or something we had no idea about. Something happened. There was a shutdown everywhere. The most commonly said phrase was it was about the future of a global crisis, a collapse. I was claiming exactly the opposite. We are generally optimistic. Tradespeople have to be optimistic. You can't manage your business the other way. When it rains, we'll drown. And when the sun shines, we'll burn. We don't think too much. Hopefully, we'll find our way to the water.
Delicious.
Our business, just like it has been until now, we look at the speed of the car's approach and the direction it's coming from. It won't be hard to predict where it's going. We might be able to relax too much, but unexpected, unknown. Things happened in the world. At that time, we have 2 locations. But since we are new to the market, we haven't fully adapted to the traditional car market in America. I'm trying to explain this. The car market in America is actually a business that doesn't require capital. So it's a business that operates on credit. It's like that in all sectors, but the car industry is at a more advanced level. You run every part of your business on credit. There's a product called Floor Plan. In that system, you take the vehicle to the place you bought it from after the sale, open through the card system. Of course, since it's a developed system that's been around for 100 years. If the deal is generally normal and stable. If everything goes smoothly, it was happening beforehand, they have done their normal trades, they made some money and that was enough for them, and they worked. Since we are new here, we don't know anything about credit. So once everyone closes their credit, all the dealerships became unable to operate. There's nothing binding us. We have nothing to do with credit. Car prices suddenly dropped to half and even lower. The normal selling price suddenly dropped.
So is it just a certain part or almost the entire thing?
The entire thing, including the zeros, there's no demand, no sales. They're sitting at home. The price of petrol has dropped. Everything has dropped because they can't leave the house. There's a ban. There's a lockdown. What can the car do? So the dealerships have to operate. As you know, strategically, Aero Engines only work with clean titles and dealer trades. He takes the vehicles that come for dealer trade. Strategically, we would do the same in Turkey. We had imported them from abroad to Iraq, but we're continuing. Same thing here. We only buy the vehicles that come for dealer trade. We don't buy every cheap car we see from everywhere. We buy from specific sellers. We only take in the cars that have come for trade from the brands. We're buying their cars. We have other strategies as well, but This is our principle, and we only work with clean titles.
You don't want us, Udin.
It's very understandable. We're trying to sell completely clean products because a second-hand vehicle, it's not a very healthy business. It's not a very profitable business either. So we're trying to make it as safe as possible. Despite that, there are a lot of problems even under these conditions. But what I'm really trying to say is that when prices suddenly dropped, everyone was taken aback. Who are we going to sell to? We were able to buy cars at very low prices. That beginning had us working for 3 or 4 months without any sleep, especially with Ramadan coming on top of it. We worked day and night without sleep, without iftar, and without sahur, thank God. It became a springboard for us. It really was a good start. And on top of that, car prices started to slowly increase with the opening of the market. However, because we sold at lower prices, because we sold affordably, and because we sold below the market rate, we made export. At the same time, we couldn't keep up with the domestic market either. We sold very serious products to the Middle East and Africa. We even sent vehicles to Cambodia. So we started selling everywhere. We also made exports. So that really turned out to be a good thing for us. But
Crises can turn into opportunities, you know?
of course, so our position is very important. You psychologically, in a crisis moment, if you decide what you're going to do and you take the test, it's of course in your hands to turn that into an opportunity. It was a good start for us. Car prices started to gradually rise as well. With the increase in demand and the opening of the market, then on top of that, the chip crisis hit. There are no cars. I mean, the normal price, the car had dropped to half its price. When we look at the price from that day, it has increased 3 to 4 times. At the point we've reached today, this refers to the wrong actions of economic states that we mentioned in previous videos, or the fact that sometimes political decisions do not have the impact on the market that they seem to. The misuse of state support beyond its intended purpose cannot be prevented by the state. It was done with good intentions, no doubt. But state support was very high in America, and this seriously brought inflation.
I have a comment on that. Let me interrupt you nicely. What I saw during that process is that almost all countries in the world were engaged in domestic politics. In domestic politics, everyone was already closed off under the guise of protecting their own people. There was almost a way out. Entrances and exits were closed. While everyone felt like they were living in a cage, for a while they engaged in domestic politics, acting as if they were thinking about your comfort. But this domestic politics, I mean the internal politics that the states engaged in, ultimately affected each other globally.
It did have an impact, that's true. Honestly, there were undoubtedly different interpretations of this among economists. But we experienced this in the automotive sector. On top of this recklessness, what we call a manufacturing shortage, the production, manufacturing not being enough for the market. It happened, there are no cars. So are we going to sell? We sold, but there are no cars. So, it's normal. In America, the Federal Trade Commission, the market and the marketplace, controls and regulates. It will be legislated. It sets its laws and rules. The Federal Trade Commission will set it. We've encountered a lot of things in the automotive sector. Even the Shia brand, we can give it comfortably, but selling vehicles above this price of $12,000. Oh, in our Turkey and other like this, in fact, in a global world, all markets are interconnected. What happens in America is happening in Turkey. What happens in Turkey is just, it can happen in other countries too. And they do it by seeing each other. So from here, it's the same in Turkey. We pumped nitrogen into your tires, tinted the windows, wrapped the car, $4,000. I don't want this. It says you have to take it in the meantime. You have to take it, $4,000 for finding a vehicle. Market adjustment. What is market adjustment? I mean, one thing some kind of things came up for this reason. The FTC penalized many companies, imposed fines, and honestly, they were right.
Of course, these events, but at the same time, in some professional organizations, you've actually seen how lobbying activities work. By taking on high-level positions in well-known places, how the laws and rules are lived, etc. But I think they are a bit late and have come here later. I don't think we are very knowledgeable about this. That's how I see it. So, the business people I talk to a lot, some have come to America, lived here. There are those who have been living here for 30 years. Some have been here for 10 years. And there are those who have just come 5 years ago. They haven't really experienced such enlightenment. You have experienced this enlightenment. And you are trying to support and encourage everyone around you to experience this enlightenment as well. You are supporting and trying to encourage what's going on over there. We are a bit, these professional organizations that we talk about, why is it so important in America?
Because the system in America, it operates through these organizations. The one that runs the whole system, that sets all the rules of the automotive industry, this profession.
So now, just a second, let our audience understand this clearly. You are selling used cars. Used cars? It's not a new car either. You are selling used cars. It already divides itself internally based on that. In this professional organization, you are in a high-level position, and along with this, if necessary, related to used cars, you can even influence the laws that will be enacted on an individual basis.
That's right. We, on a provincial basis, on a state basis, and also throughout America, which we call the nation, there are 3 chambers for every professional organization. There is an organization. There is a board. 1, the province you are in. 2, the state you are in. 3, nationwide. In our automotive industry, you have NIDA, NADA, TIDA, HIDA. In Houston, Texas, nationwide. Aside from that, we are currently only talking about used cars.
In every profession, in every sector,
there are brand new ones as well. New car dealers.
How many members are there? I'm asking curious.
So, Nationwide has 14,000 members.
There are 14,000 members in the used car sector.
And many of those 50 states haven't joined us yet. Some states say, I don't have enough members. I don't have enough members here. Some states say, yes, I love you. I support you, but I won't join you. They say they won't support Nation. He says he will only stay at the state level, half of the 50 states, Nation valid member. There is an organization in all 50 states, but not all of them are Nation valid members. Every city, Texas, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, completely all of them.
First to Texas.
Member of Texas.
Yes.
As Texas. In Texas, we have 400 members. There are about 20,000 licenses in Texas. Gallery, what we provide, we can track the active licenses. How many galleries are there? How many galleries are not? We also determine the features and conditions for obtaining that license. Those who meet these conditions, we also set the conditions for that. Those who meet these conditions.
So, someone completely unrelated, someone who has nothing to do with the industry, can't come and make a wrong decision or pass a wrong law in your name.
It can't be. We monitor. They have a license. They have to renew this license every 2 years. If we want, we don't renew it. If there is something that doesn't meet the conditions, you cancel the license. What does it mean to cancel a license? You cannot sell vehicles because when you get a license, we set up the DMVs, that is the traffic department's computer in your office. You are processing it from there.
So how do you influence things? How can you ensure that a law that may come out related to your own industry comes out in a way that is more favorable and beneficial for you? Comes out the way you want it, in a more positive manner for you. How do you manage that?
Because the head of Texas's DMV, that is the traffic department, someone we have designated, someone elected from the professional organization is going there. 1, 2, we discuss all these laws and regulations in our annual conferences, and we conduct our meetings together with the DMV, the traffic department. In the emergence of all the rules, in its renewal, in its development, if something is going wrong in its oversight, and we ensure the establishment of the rules and the conditions. So the professional organization provides that. The conditions are also provided by the professional organization that we support. At the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission is monitoring, overseeing, it's monitoring. So, and there are laws. So laws, inspection, something that doesn't comply. If you want, it comes back from the court when you take it out. So we have a Congress every year. We elect a president every year. We review our budget every year. It's the same for Texas. Nationwide, it's the same for NEDA. I've been in I'm on the legislative committee. I've been for a year now. I'm on the rewards committee of Nationwide.
But regularly your visits to senators, your visits to the Congress, and your visits to the White House are also happening.
That's lobbying activity. Like this is how we do it. This year, we have things that the FTC has issued. There are rules regarding our sector. For example, there was a theft of the Catholic convector, too much. Zero vehicle dealers. There were some issues with certain cars, forcing the customer to go to service. There have been incidents. And also dealers of zero vehicles. The market adjustment fee, they call. The money they collect extra that came out of the rule, it has also affected us. In 3 points, we have a problem. We worked on these 3 points with our lawyers. Then, fifth step, we brought representatives from our sector, from each state, to the state representative and advocated with them. It's called lobbying.
Yes.
Advocating together.
Of course, you're making a presentation and influencing.
I told the senator and representative I voted for in my area, look, I'm one of your constituents. Also, I came to you as NEDA. I have 14,000 members. I put the file in front of you. I said, we want you to support us when this law comes to you. We also have a proposal. We have a science. Would you sign here too? We will sign in the class. We are also contributing to his election campaign because you have a problem there. And I'm advocating to help with that problem. I'm doing lobbying so that I can reach enough members there and get that rule lifted.
This has become a very good example. Let's clarify that right away, because there's a perception like this in Turkey. When we talk about lobbying activities, it's only seen as whispers and rumors. It's perceived as activities that happen under the table. It's more like gossip. All the things you say, all the presentations, all the advocacy happen in official channels. It's perceived as activities that happen under the table. It's more like gossip. All the things you say, all the presentations, all the advocacy happen in official channels. Meetings that are not held in those places, behind closed doors, are what is being referred to. There is such a perception in Turkey before lobbying activities. So we are making a correction here and understanding this. Lobbying activity means you are strong. You are commercially strong. After that, you reach good standings in your association or professional organization. You become stronger and you become an accepted part of an organized group. From there, you advocate for certain things. And these things you advocate for are initially related to your profession. Sometimes, for example, when you are in a lobbying position, if there is an obstacle against car spare parts coming from Turkey, you can say, let's bring this to the table, and you can have a say in it. That's how you engage in lobbying activities. In fact, you are openly making your case in all official channels. So you are engaging in lobbying activities. Actually, you are making your case openly and normally in all official channels. Well, you become useful because you are in the right place at the right time.
I've been an expatriate for almost 20 years. I can't use Turkish this fast, fluently, and with so many words. So I apologize. So you explained it very well. But when you know a few languages, it gets mixed up. I mean, to be honest.
Examples coming from sector.
Okay. When the words and the weight are less.
No problem.
We're talking about automatic. The words are also a bit heavy. It's hard to explain. I'm trying to avoid adding foreign words into it. In any case, they have to get involved. It's not a topic I really enjoy, but sometimes we have to use foreign words out of necessity.
For example, while living abroad, we say how much is the shipping fee, but we're actually talking about cargo fees.
Cargo is also foreign.
That's true. But since it's in a comprehensible form in Turkey, you don't even notice that they're using a foreign word. When speaking Turkish, words tend to get mixed in. Since we have some viewers following from Turkey as well, we correct each other a bit to balance things out. Yes, thank you very much.
It was nice conversation.
We will continue these conversations. Please stay tuned with us.